Okay. Hello, everybody. This is Pearls of Wisdom with Katharina and
Navasit. So today we're gonna have a question about power. So
we want to talk about power today.
Yeah. So I have a question about the power. So we're gonna start about the first question is about what do we lose our power or give power to others?
I think you can only lose something that you are not. So let's define power first. Let's find out what power is. Power is something that is part of who we are. And if we understand the consciousness level of power, we cannot lose it. We cannot be intimidated to lose the power. So here, let's go back to the program. When we are born, already our parents are programmed. And the parents, of course, they teach us their program in school, and it gets more tight and more tight the more we grow up. Now, the power is a part of our life energy that we bring with us. Like we are not the body, no?
With the soul.
Right. This is kind of part of our soul that is living in that body, that is our part of our power. That is also part of who we are. Now, if we have a program that denies that we have power, it's like you suppress something within you. And when you suppress it a long time, it starts to work against you. Because everything, you know, when you have water and it does not move anymore, it's just in something that starts to stink, it starts to get bad. And that's the same with the power too, with our whole life energy, with our whole life force. Everything that we don't use is somehow turning against us. So when we are growing up and we are not allowed to use our power the way we want to, because some other beings want to harness our power.
Yeah.
They want to steal it because they don't have their own. Because power is part of light, right?
Okay.
And those who are shadow beings, they need to steal this life energy from somebody, otherwise they don't have it. Because darkness is only absence of light.
Okay, but how can they steal the power?
Yeah, see, that's very, very interesting. So what can they do with us to give us the motivation that we give their power, them power even by free will? So they created a money system, a value system, that you do things that serve them, but not you. And through these things, and today, as I said, we have the money that is like, we are so much under pressure. We pay taxes, we pay a lot of things that actually they are not really legal.
Okay.
So in a higher realm, if you go to the higher realm and understand what power really is, and you want to take it back, you start to think about not to serve the shadow or the darkness, but then you start to serve the light.
Okay. Search the light?
The light, yes. And we can say light is also love. Light is love, is enlightenment, is kind of the energies that we are born with, that we should live. But we have been put like a cloak, a dark cloak over our whole being, the whole earth, that we cannot remember who we really are. And we were programmed already from very, very small babies onwards and previous lives. So it's not just us or our generation. It's our past lives, it's our ancestors, everything is trained into this behavior.
So it is in our DNA already.
Yes, too. It's an information that is coming in with the innate, with the innate of our body has all the knowledge through the DNA.
Okay.
And it's also that is taking care of our body, our inherited knowledge. And we have to penetrate, we have to move through that. It's like a wall that connects us again with our personal higher self, instead of giving the power away with the belief into things other people tell us.
So currently, I think we are on the feed on fear.
Yes. Many. Well, anyway, this is something, yes, we give away our power because we are holding fear, and we talk about that a little bit later.
Okay.
But to understand generally what power is very important that we understand that we are in our power as long as we are aligned to the light. So how to take back our power is to realign ourselves with our light.
Okay.
You asked in another question before that how can you get the message when you talk to your spirit self in the morning and tell them to let you know what you need to know. And yes, this is coming in many different ways. It can be people talking to you. It can be a telephone. It can be an intuition, inspiration, a thought or something that give you the answer. And to take back your power means to learn to listen again to, we say, the higher self.
Okay, so reconnect to our higher self.
Yes. And once you connect with your higher self and you listen to this, you remember the life lineage, the blood lineage, the life lineage. So if we are listening, we start to take back our power because we don't need to depend on others anymore about knowing things, knowing this is like that, or this is like that, or they tell me I have to behave like this. This does not make sense anymore once you're aligned with your higher self.
Okay, so we can break through the belief system.
Yes, yes. That's step number one, to break through this. And then it is like, you know, power and courage then comes together. Once you start to feel your power, you also will have the courage to do something against that program, against the deception that is all around.
Okay, I see.
And then you're also more curious. Yeah. And when you want to know, you move forward to go and look for yourself. You don't believe something just because somebody said it, even if he is a doctor, professor, or whatever. But you want to know, and you go also, like, for example, if it's a field that is not your expertise, you don't go just to one person. You maybe read 5, 6, 7 articles, and then you kind of start to think about it. What makes sense to you? What feels right?
What is true for me?
Yeah. Very good. Because see, many people, they don't think that the feeling is very important. But once you come to that journey consciously and start to understand what is your power, you feel it immediately. And there is also, again, the kinesiology test you can do. So if you are in power, you're strong.
Yeah. And when you, go ahead.
You go.
And I heard the wording about the understanding. So I'm curious about
understand. That means I stand under.
So it means that I give the power to that person, right?
Yeah. So for example, also if you are somehow connected with legal things and say a policeman asks you, do you understand? If you say yes, you stand under him. So don't
Uh,
answer that question. Don't answer.
and how
You
can I
get your
answer?
lawyer first.
And how can I answer? What the words that I should answer? I got it.
Well, it's a bit tricky, you know. First of
Uh-huh.
all, the best is not to say anything to don't give your power away. So if they ask you something, I mean, if you're in a difficult situation, not just a little bit something, but if it's a difficult question, then you better don't answer them at all.
Okay. I
Because
see.
whatever you say, they can use against you. That's how this power works. They
That's
kind of want to take more and more and more and
Uh-huh.
more of your power until you're completely powerless, and they can do with you what they want.
So this is how they steal our power.
Yes, yes, exactly. And whatever you sign, of course, and whatever you pay is a lot of giving your power away. So you have to work how many hours? I mean, in certain countries, they work 9 months already just for taxes and social security and everything, and only 3 months salary they can use for themselves.
Oh, really?
Yes, really, that's in Germany more or less. So
So
the
in
people,
Europe,
even if they have, like, you know, say, so people here, they say, oh, you have such a good salary, but if you know how much you have to pay, what is left for you, it's only about the quarter of what you work for. And this is the 3/4 is your power you give away. You have worked for this money.
Oh, serious.
We are not here to work for the government.
Uh-huh.
And the government is not here to control us, but to help us. The
Yeah.
government works for us. We pay them.
Because we pay the tax.
Right. We pay them. So anyway, our systems will change very soon. So to take the power back is, first of all, stop everything what you can to give your power to others. Stop also with food. Don't buy all the junk food that is poisoning us. Don't buy silly stuff that we don't need anyway. Come more back to the basics. What we really need in life. How should we accumulate a lot of stuff that we don't need? We think something makes us happy, but does it really?
Not really.
No, things cannot make us happy. Happiness is something that is within us. Happiness is connected with our power, with the energy of our life. And again,
So,
here,
yeah.
if
So
we
can,
have no power, how can we be happy?
yeah. So just keep our power with ourselves.
Yeah, and this is just now. Start more and more to be connected with your higher self, get inspiration what to do, find out what you're really here for on this planet. Many people don't know.
Okay.
Know that you are unique and beautiful and powerful. Everybody is.
Yeah.
Everybody who is alive has that divine spark within. And with that divine spark, we can start to help to move forward.
Okay. So just reconnect to our higher self.
Yeah, this is to the God self, or whatever you want to call it, you know. This is the only way to go. And once you are connected with your higher self and you change your consciousness level, then you immediately start to meet different people. And then you start to make groups with different people with a higher consciousness. And that spreads also. And the more people go with a higher consciousness, the more the whole consciousness level of the earth is shifting and things get better.
Yeah,
but the curse is obedience.
So it becomes the spiritual family.
Yeah, right. We make groups, and then our idea is about to help each other instead of to take away from each other. when you look at the karmic law, and we say just like everything what goes out from you comes back tenfold. Actually, it's much more, but just let's say tenfold. So every negative action that you do comes back tenfold. Every positive action comes back tenfold, just as a metaphor. Now imagine where you stand once you start to do positive things in your life. How much easier it is and what is coming back when all the people who gathered together, they give out positive vibes and 10 times more comes back. You will be much, much more rich in different ways, and abundance is around you because of that. It doesn't have to be really money, but look at me, I live here. I have not much money, but I live in absolute abundance.
And happiness.
Yeah, well, up and down, you know, we all do, no? Yeah, right. So I think from here we can go directly also into the question with Suchada, right? Because she has, we've been talking already a little bit about the consciousness level. Let me just call her. We can just go on here.
Okay. Suchada.
So what, I'm joining in?
Yeah.
Yeah, just join in because we just can go on here because Suchada, you have hey, hello Suchada.
Are you gonna, do
Come
the...
show. Yeah, very good.
Hi.
Hey,
Good morning.
good morning.
And welcome to Suchada. She has some
Yes.
questions to
I
ask
have
you.
some question for the pearls of wisdom. I think we all have fear. But what is fear really?
I have made a little chart for you, Suchada, and I'm just going to show it quickly here. And we mentioned already before that there are different consciousness levels. Like many years ago, I read that book from Dr. David R. Hawkins, the book Power versus Force. And he is a psychiatry professor, or was, he's not with us anymore. And he was, he had an enlightenment experience. And he was away from the world more or less 10 years. He could not function with the energy of the world. Now just think back in the 80s. And he came back to teach. And he has developed that kinesiology method that I also appreciate so much. And I have developed it into a few other methods, as you know. And he was testing with people the level of consciousness of the earth. And now we have the consciousness level below 200 is all fear-based. This is all what is shame and guilt and being not worthy, and fear, of course, is all out there. And then when we come, the consciousness level is rising to 200, we come to the point of courage. And before, the just step before courage is anger. So as long as people are in this apathy, and you know that fear is, you're completely not in your power. So how can you break through when you don't have energy? You kind of are in the darkness. That's what I said before. Everything what we don't use is turning against us. So if we don't use our life energy for ourselves and give it away, we are in darkness. So we are in the fear-based consciousness until that point comes that we are challenged so much that we get angry. And once you're angry, you maybe shout or scream or put through. And then it's like you open a veil, or like I said, a dark cloak that is over us. We open that. And we see, oh, there is light. Oh, okay. So now you have the courage and you go out and you experience. So the breakthrough from fear is the breakthrough into a higher consciousness level through anger. This is the last step before you break through into courage. And then you come into willingness, acceptance. And 500 again is a very, very important level. This is love. And from love, we go up to unconditional love, peace, peace and enlightenment. So once the consciousness level of humanity has moved over 200, this is also the moment the prophecies have changed. The prophecies before 1986, when humanity has reached that level of courage of 200, everything has shifted. This is the first time now that the earth can survive an old paradigm shifting into a new one, not being destroyed.
Okay.
So you're saying that we need courage so we can deal with our fear.
Yes.
Be courage to be angry, get angry.
Yes.
But
Sarah is barking. She hears you talking.
yeah.
Maybe they get
Sarah,
angry.
it's okay. She's running out to see if you're here.
She's fear.
Yeah, very
I think
nice.
there's intensity level of fear, but how do we handle each level?
You know, that fear that we have is mostly artificially introduced to us, as I said before, within the program. It is our program to live in fear, that so they can harvest our energy, right? So a lot of all the programs, school, whatever it is, what is fear-based, will help to get you down, will help to make you powerless, even less to sink deeper and deeper and deeper into that fear. So we need to learn about the programs. The program that we are told that, you know, the things, we are not good enough, you're not beautiful enough, you don't have enough money, and all these programs, they keep you in that consciousness level of fear, because, oh, you're afraid I'm not good enough, I'm afraid I'm losing my job, I'm afraid of this, I'm afraid of that. But this is all artificially induced, like a vaccine, push into with all this program, push in all your fears. But the thing is, we have fear that are natural, and these fears we need.
Can you give examples?
So that means there are two different kind of fear. That is that what I was talking before is the fear of the program.
Yeah.
Okay, but now there is another fear within us that saves our life. Like you have also sometimes you have this kind of, you know, it really even shivers back there. You suddenly have a feeling of something's not right.
Okay.
This is a very important fear, and that is one to save your life.
Okay.
Or the fear that you, like, you go on the road and you know, sometimes you have that kind of intuition you should go on the brake when you drive a car, or when you walk, that you look around or whatever. This is all that natural fear that we can say that divine given fear to help us in our life.
Okay.
The problem here now is that we mix up the fears. We don't realize anymore these are two different fears. One is that innate fear that we need to survive. And if we listen to that, and if we sharpen these senses, we are safe.
Yeah.
And as I said, you know, and you know it, we done many times, kinesiology helps you a lot. Because that is connected with your innate. And if you start to check with your body, forth and back, this method I taught you, very easily, you know immediately if the energy is positive or negative for you. So if it's negative, walk away, and you can test anything with it. So you can trust that the natural fear that is, and you use kinesiology immediately, like to figure out what's going on. It can help you a lot. Then you can go over it, and that will be gone immediately. But the artificially induced programmed fear is not going away. Now, once you are out of that situation, when you have this kind of fear or not well feeling, that's gone. But the other fear is persisting.
So it persisting, it means that it's in the subconsciousness.
Yeah. It is programmed in the subconscious, and the consciousness always is connected with the subconscious, and our mind always works on the program. So when you are sensitive, what you feel very first is a feeling of good and bad. And this is that innate feeling that is what we also make now with kinesiology, to make it a bit longer, to give us more the idea that's it, you know. So the moment I feel that is positive, that is negative, I'm more or less safe, and I can do something about it. But this other fear is out of the kind of realm that we can do something. Like if there is an authority, whatever, out there that keep us in fear, how we can change it. So the thing is that, as I said before, when we group together with other people and understand what fear really is and let that go, then we can become light. This is, see, the power and the fear is very, very much connected. If you have a fear-based consciousness, you're not in power.
I see.
So again, fear and worry is not the same root,
but
fear triggers worry.
Trigger worry. Okay.
So first you have fear, and the worries come after fear. The lineage of fear, we can say.
I understand that worry is a lighter degree of fear, but it's not. Worry is the consequence of fear.
Lighter is the question. Worry is, we can say worry is the cause of all illness.
Oh.
So I wouldn't say lighter, it's just the next step. So first step is like you are put into a consciousness of fear, and then you start to worry.
Yes,
and then you start to worry, and you don't do what you would like to do because you're afraid. And that stocks your life energy.
So it becomes sickness later.
Yes, that worry, that fear is stopping that river of flow that you have within you.
Okay.
And that river, when it stopped and not flowing anymore, it starts to create symptoms. So the first symptoms are mental, emotional. This is the next level now, because it's still invisible, but emotional, these are now the big waves. So we get emotional. But we have to also suppress our emotions, because we have to fear that somebody get angry if we show our emotions and whatever, blah, 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 no? Again, boom, 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 one thing after the other happened. When you're emotionally, when you say things you didn't mean to say really, and you know, and then gives anger again, and it's up and down and up and down, and you're not getting anywhere either. So if the fear consciousness is still completely controlling, even the anger cannot really get out. Because you're afraid to express your anger, so it goes in the body. And anger, you know, this is a fire energy, so it affects a part that is fire in your body, which is blood, heart. So it can lead, say, at one point to heart attack, headache.
So fear and worry came from the same root.
It's all fear.
It's
Oh, yeah.
It's
Mm.
all fear. And that is the lower consciousness of humanity where we have fallen into. And that is why the situation on the planet is so difficult, because most people are still stuck in fear. Now what is happening, the pressure becomes so dense that people really get angry.
Mhm.
They don't want to obey anymore. So more and more people are breaking through from anger into courage. And it's like, it's like a dam. Once you have a little hole, a little bit water, and then it becomes bigger, and suddenly whoosh, the whole dam crashes and they come all out. Can you imagine what happened if all that suppressed energy
Mm.
is coming out?
Mm.
Yeah.
It's on the way.
Oh, it's on the way. Gonna be chaos.
Absolutely. So let's help that a little bit, that it comes faster.
So to get rid of fear, we need to be brave.
Yes.
And how do
Courageous, brave, and start to stand up for yourself. Learn to say no.
So, but you can see that in the Thai society,
Very
they
difficult.
they have like
It's
the word
difficult.
เกรงใจ
Yes, I know. Yes, I know. That is I don't know what karma for Thailand this word means, but this is really bad. So you cannot stand up. I think it has something to do that Thailand has been a kingdom for a very long time now, and had a kind of benevolent king in the past. So people didn't really need to rise up. The pressure wasn't so bad. But still, if you come, if you look at a country that has like if it's a king or a queen or even a president, whatever, it doesn't really matter, that people adore. That's maybe also because of beauty, habit, whatever, all the things, the fairy tales that are told, that, and then once in a while they pick somebody from the masses to bring into the glory, and then everybody dream to be the prince and the princess too. So they keep us more or less in a dream. But you never come to the complete awakening and realization of what you really are. In countries like that, people are more prone to give their power away than in other countries, like some European countries, some the United States of America, that people have fought for democracy. Even the whole democracy today is also rotten. A lot of worms inside the cheese. And everything is falling now because we need a new way of living, because all this energy is now coming up, and it's like a big storm that is all mixed up in the moment.
I think our country rulers and all others country rulers, they all on the fear base.
Yeah.
To control us, try to do all things to make things smooth.
Yes, exactly. And I also know from the plan, they have, it's like they would like to keep more Asian alive because they're easier to control than the Westerners. That's why one part of it is to get rid of the Westerners first. They think for themselves. But anyway, I see that especially here now, people are waking up. A lot of people are starting to wake up now. And I think you are on the brink to take back your power. It's like, these little vacuum machines that take out from the plastic bag all the air.
Yes.
That's the image I have here. Once you all take back your power, and there is practically nothing left in that bag.
Okay, I have more question. Can you explain more about what's courage? What is courage? How should it? How should we feel when we have enough courage to break through the fear? What's it like?
Okay, so there are energies of like curiosity. It can be anger also. It can be excitement. You know, what is actually still allowed in our society is falling in love. This is moment when you fall out of fear. That when you have the courage to say to a woman, I love you, or a man. And this is the moment you break through. And if you would stay there, it would come a lot more. But after that, usually people fall again in the habits because the program is too strong. There is that moment you're on cloud, you live that love and you help each other, you do everything for each other. But then comes greedy society and all the problems start to take over again. And in that way, you should have the courage to fall in love again and again and again. And it would actually be the topic of a good marriage, a good partnership, to the challenge to make your partner fall in love with you every day. So that would be a breakthrough, a complete breakthrough, I tell you. But the thing is that also, like what is happening now, the pressure had to become so strong that it come out mostly with anger. Because the mass consciousness level is not there yet. As far as I know, we are something about 210, but I have not checked for many years actually. But this is still, we are on the way to let go of that fear-based consciousness. And the first step, again, remember, you have to know that you're there. If you don't know that you are in a fear-based consciousness and that there is an other consciousness possible, you just give up and you stay there because there is nothing to have anymore. They give up, they resign. Like you can see that so much with older people. Oh, it has been like that all the time. Oh, I cannot start anything new anymore, because they don't have the knowledge that, first of all, after this life, even if you learn something with 70, 80, whatever, you take it with you. Everything what you have experienced, what you have learned, you take with you. Because you leave that body once that body falls apart, you know. So anything that is connected with energy, it can be even an accident, it can be an illness, something that throws you out of your daily routine. This is why I also say again and again, break your habits, break your habits. And it's so easy to do it with food. Don't eat every day the same. One day this, one day that, and then, you know, you know what I'm saying, right? And we all know how difficult it is.
Exploration.
Yeah.
So courage is an energy that helps you to move on in life, to explore, to have a good life, to open, like not stay in that little space here, but to open up to the world and to more than just the world. And there will become more in the future, I tell you, and it's not going to take that long anymore.
Wow.
You'll be excited what is happening. It's going to be good. It's going to be really good.
Already excited.
Broader perspective.
But but you know what? It's always like when you can see in every fairy tale, in every film, whatever you go, always just before you reach the end. It's a tough challenge again, and that really is the toughest to kick you back.
Okay.
That's why it's tough in the moment. And you know what? That whole situation is to test your courage. It is allowed from the high council up there because
Mhm.
people need to wake up. We are being tested. Can we stand up for something? Are we
Mhm.
ready to go to the next level? Those who stay Grangchai and just do it because, okay, a little bit pressure, whatever, and cannot stand up, they are not ready for the next consciousness level. They're not really ready to move on.
Mhm.
Mm.
Mhm.
So this is why it's so important that you take back your power, that you're courageous.
Mhm.
Mm.
Mhm.
Mm.
And that goes, it's funny that you have the question with power, Navasit, and you have the question with fear, Suchada. So this is kind of more or less the polarity, you know, male, female. But it's kind of be bringing now together, because this is exactly what it is. It is, in a way, too, you can say, if you have the fear on the lower level, you have you go through courage and you receive power.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
Mm.
But when we're talking about courage, I have two topics coming up. For me, if I want to be courage to take action,
Courageous.
Courageous.
Yeah,
I the thing that will block me from be brave is
Yes.
the consequence. So but to have courage, I think we have to trust
Yes.
like just trust, but I don't know trust what, but just trust.
Trust.
Yes, exactly. And this is very easy to answer. Now, once you're a slave, you trust others. Once you are a powerful being, you trust yourself.
Okay.
Mm.
Uh-huh. Trust
Once you
our
start to trust yourself, this is to say the way when you wake up and you start to trust yourself, your feeling, your inspiration.
Mhm.
Mm. Mm.
So we trust our divine.
Yeah, because
Mhm.
that's what you are. That
Mhm.
what is the being that feels, that sees, whatever, is not the body, but that is you inside of the body.
Mhm.
And when you trust that you automatically trust the higher self, the divine, whatever you want to call it.
Mhm.
Mm.
You are not here by coincidence. You have chosen to be here. The moment you're out of this body and you remember how powerful you are and you look back, you know what? There is nobody touching you up there. This is you. Who's,
Okay.
oh my God, I could have done this, I could have done that. And, oh my God. And I was under that fear, whatever, I was not able. So I want to go back. Let me go back immediately. I want to have another chance to take back my power. And that's how people come back.
Mhm.
Mm.
Mm.
Make sense?
Makes sense.
And very challenging.
Of course. That's that's why we are here. Why do you think we are here?
Mhm. To learn the experience.
Yeah, not for the holiday so much. Holiday too, but maybe they are up there then.
Mhm.
And what is the other question beside trust?
I think that's all.
Okay.
Mm.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's
So
stop in that case for today. Thank you very much. And we're gonna have
yeah,
more questions.
yeah,
Have a good
sure.
day.
Yeah, and anyone want to give the question, they can
You can ask.
ask the question by the send you the email or the telegram. Mhm.
We
Okay.
will have at the bottom of the video, we will post some
Okay.
information, and please like and share our video.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank
See you
you,
next time.
Okay, thank you so much.
everybody. Sawadee ka.
Bye.